Fat stacks now from flipping dime bags and you want to go deposit into the bank. The problem is the bank, the financial institutions, they have a mandate from the CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, or the IRS to report any large cash deposits. And the problem is the CRA or the IRS, they got more juice than you. So you can't even lean on these snitch bitches at the bank in order to get them to overlook their reporting mechanism. You just don't got the juice. Welcome to Nerdsplaining, a new video series where I'm going to overanalyze, I mean like insanely overanalyze, pop cultural references to personal financial issues or ideas or concepts. And so I figured for episode 1, what better than JayZ's The Story of OJ? OJ. And so this song is filled with all kinds of interesting little personal financial tidbits, a lot of different financial advice, and some really interesting perspectives. Now, this being said, I just want to give you a little bit of background. It's the sort of song I wouldn't feel appropriate singing in a crowd because it drops all sorts of language. But that being said, there is actually all kinds of useful information. And I found this to be the case throughout a lot of different rap songs. So rappers like JayZ or Biggie, or more contemporaries like Russ and Post Malone, I find them very inspiring. And with G-Eazy, a lot of these songs, a lot of these young rappers, they document their grind, their hustle, their struggle to get out of the streets and to really make something of their lives. And regardless of whether they're literally coming from the streets of Compton or they're coming from suburbia, I think there's still a lot of valid information that they're portraying through their music. And so a lot of the time, the songs that really resonate with me are the ones about grinding, about hustling hard, about putting in the work, putting in the effort, about the sleepless nights. And so I figured that this song, JayZ's The Story of OJ, is literally perfect for the first Nerdsplaining episode because it's filled with so many fascinating tidbits on personal finances.
Please don't die over the neighborhood that your mama rentin.
Take that drug money and buy the neighborhood. That's how you rinse it. There's actually a lot of information to parse out in just literally that one sentence. So I figured, let's dive into money laundering. So first things first, this is not financial advice. This is just an intellectual discussion. I'm not recommending that you do illegal things or that you launder money. But I thought it would be really interesting to dive into the subject matter because there's all sorts of other shows that touch upon it. Things like Breaking Bad or Ozarks on TV, as well as like movies like The Accountant. And so a lot of people don't really understand what money laundering is or what the purpose of it is. And so what's interesting to me is in this song, in this chorus, in this line that we're discussing in particular, JayZ discusses how people should take their drug money, their illicit profits from illegal activities, and rinse it or clean it by laundering it through real estate. And so a lot of the times when thinking about laundering money, a lot of us naturally think about cash businesses. So the first things that usually come to mind are things like laundromats, car washes, convenience stores, and vending machines. And so the reason that people are attracted to that for laundering money simply is it's an all cash business, or usually a mainly cash business that doesn't issue a lot of receipts. So it's very hard for, say, an outside auditor to track the flow of money and really determine what are legitimate proceeds from the business and what are illegitimate proceeds, what are illegal funds that are being siphoned or put into the business in order to rinse it, to clean it. And so in this case, I really agree with JayZ that laundering your money through real estate would be a very interesting approach. It's actually a very effective approach. It's less focused on in a lot of pop cultural references because I think it's less sexy. But what's interesting is, let's say you did have a bunch of money you gained from illicit activities. How are you going to take this stack, those fat stacks of cash, and how are you going to get them into your bank account? Because the problem is, if you just go and deposit that money into the bank, you're going to get flagged. The IRS or the CRA is going to get notified and you're going to have some splaining to do. So instead of doing that, a lot of people will get cash generating businesses like I mentioned. Alternatively though, I really think real estate's an interesting idea. But the problem still remains with real estate. Let's say you have a ton of money that you're trying to clean up or you're trying to launder, but you don't actually have any financial base to begin with. You have no legitimate financial assets. It's still actually gonna be very difficult for you to buy that property. So this is where something kind of interesting occurs. If you were trying to launder that money, your best option would be to get a joint venture partner. Now, this actually stands regardless of whether you're new to real estate investing and you're trying to get into it for the illicit money laundering aspect of it, or whether you're just looking to grow your financial wealth and do it through legitimate means. You guys have heard me talk about all the time before on my YouTube channel about how joint venturing is one of the fastest ways to grow your real estate portfolio, as well as it allows you to get into real estate deals you may not otherwise be able to. So in this case, if we're talking about laundering money, you have tons of cash, but you don't have the borrowing capacity. You don't have any legitimate means to borrow or to get a mortgage, and you don't want to just go buy that house in cash because it's going to create red flags with the government. So alternatively, you're going to find someone that's a good credit risk. And so regardless of whether you're a drug kingpin or even just, let's say, a legitimate entrepreneur, a lot of legitimate entrepreneurs have a lot of difficulty being considered good credit risks by banks or large financial institutions. And the reason for that is because they're entrepreneurs, they're seen as less stable. It's less safe from the bank's perspective than, say, simple T4 income or W2 income, I think it's called in the States. And so in order to find those joint venture partners, probably some of your best bets are things like coworkers, friends and family members, as well as people that are already real estate investors. And the goal here is you're going to use their good name and their credit in order to buy a property, and then you're going to use your cash, whether it's literally from legitimate businesses or illegitimate businesses, and joint venture with them to find a win-win so that you guys can both get into a real estate investment that you otherwise not be able to get into. And so the reason friends or family members or co-workers or other real estate investors may want to joint venture with you is because you have access to this cash, where you're going to be looking for partners that are cash strapped, ones that have good credit, but don't have the cash to put down on a down payment or to sink into renovations. And so getting back to the JayZ lyric, real estate is a very interesting approach to laundering money or to just building up legitimate financial assets. And so what's really attractive about this versus those cash businesses are that there's opportunities where you could literally defer the taxes or never have to pay taxes on the gains. So what is the difference when considering an all cash-based business versus a real estate investing business? Well, it really comes down to this. With the all cash-based business, you're going to be funneling the illicit proceeds from your drug money or whatever illicit activities you're partaking in, and you're going to funnel that through the all cash-based business. Now, you're going to end up paying taxes on that, and that's kind of the whole goal. That's how you're cleaning the money. That's how you're mixing it with legitimate money, which makes it difficult for anyone to really track. And so in this case, you're going to pay taxes on it, and you're going to pay taxes at your corporate rate. And then if you're actually going to try and withdraw that money personally, you're going to end up paying taxes at your marginal rate as well. Using the market I'm in, Ontario, Canada, and oversimplifying, we're going to call that 50%. So let's say you had that fat stack of 100K that you're trying to launder through your all cash business. You're going to end up actually paying 50% taxes on that in order to get back into your hands this legitimate money that you could then go spend on yourself or invest in other opportunities. Whereas with the real estate business, there's an opportunity to get more creative and playful. So particularly if you're focused on, let's say, a flipping business. So in the US, you could potentially use like a 1031 exchange to essentially defer the taxes almost indefinitely until you die. Whereas in Canada, we don't have the 1031 exchange. If you're not sure what the 1031 exchange is, check out my video on it right there. But in Canada, alternatively, capital gains on your personal residence are not taxable. So if you did a live-in flip or live-in BRRRR, that would be an opportunity for you to make the money legitimate and still not have to pay any taxes on the proceeds. Now, I know I'm going at this at a very high level, so I'm going to do a part 2 to this video series. We're going to dive into the nitty-gritty details of why real estate investing and why flipping in particular is a really interesting mechanism to defer taxes, whether you're trying to grow your wealth legitimately or illegitimately. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more nerdsplaining, if you want to see me dive into more pop culture, personal financial references, jump in the comment section and give me your support. Share these videos on social media and smash that like button for me. And also let me know what other TV shows, movies, or rap songs, or songs in general should I be overanalyzing to the nth degree to explain and regurgitate to you guys? I'd be really interested in knowing, so jump in the comment section and let me know. And please remember, this is all just done for an intellectual discussion. This is not financial advice. I am not telling you to launder your illegal money. Please do not sue me. Please do not report me. I'm just doing this to have some fun. Please don't make me lose my accounting license. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like button, and remember, until the next video, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money out there for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point? Thanks, guys. Bye!